Hi everybody, this is Bruce DePrest's, and I've got a recipe that will be very popular for the big game. And it's a family recipe that's been popular for decades. When my sons had friends over, this was always very, very popular. In fact, I could never even get any because it disappeared so fast. It's very, very simple to make. About the hardest thing to do is to be spreading the cream cheese on the bottom of the pan. On top of that goes chili. I like to use vegetarian chili instead of meat chili. So this chili works out very well. On top of that, salsa. You can use any salsa you like. It could be mild, medium, or hot. And then on top of that, if you want to give it some pizzazz, you could use jalapenos. I use chilies. I don't use a full can, but I put some on there. And then it's all topped off by a layer of cheddar cheese. And all you have to do is throw it in the oven at 350 for 30 minutes. It's hot and bubbly. So it's a great recipe. It's been very popular for a long, long time. And I just want to share it with you for the big game. So in goes the cream cheese. That worked out really nice. And what I do is I just like to use a fork and spread it around. Okay, I've added a whole can of vegetarian chili with beans. You definitely want the beans in there. You don't necessarily need the meat for this recipe. And what I did was I spread the entire can right over the top of the cream cheese and just got every little corner covered with the chili as much as you possibly can. All right, so the next step, now that we got the chili all spread, comes the salsa. And once again, you could use any brand that you want, your favorite salsa. And I chose a medium hot salsa. You can go mild, you can go really hot if you want. So I take this entire jar, believe it or not, spread it right over the top. All right, so the cream cheese, the chili, and the salsa, everything is all covered up. Now, you don't have to do this, but if you're a fan of hot food, which I am, then you might want to add a few chilies. You could use jalapenos if you want. I like to get the chopped or diced chilies, and I'll just kind of like mix it in a little bit. I won't use this whole can because some of the people in my family don't like things too hot, and this will definitely make it hot. So you kind of get it all mixed in with the salsa. Don't be afraid to kind of just move it around a little bit. And I would say that is probably enough chilies right there to add some fire to this dish. So the next step is the final layer, and that's the shredded cheese. I chose a nice sharp Kraft cheddar cheese, and this is where you can get creative as much as you want. So I'm going to put a nice little layer on there, and this will all melt down beautifully. Looks like a lot of cheese. Then you can spread it around a little bit. You know what? This needs a little more cheese because you might want to feed a lot of people with this. And you know what? I'm going to add a little more cheese. And there you have it. It's ready to go. You want to have the oven nice and hot at around 350. You could put it in, right about there. Perfect shelf height right there. Bake it uncovered, and we're going to time it for about 30 minutes. And we're going to check back in 30 minutes to see how hot and bubbly this thing is, and then it's going to be ready to eat. All right, so it's been a half an hour. We baked it at 350, and it should be nice and bubbly. And indeed it is. Oh man, this dip is all bubbling up on the side here, which is exactly the way we want it. The cheese is all melted down. It's nice and hot throughout. So what I like to do is I serve it with scoops. You can choose your favorite nacho, but I hope for game day you give it a try and enjoy it.